Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're diving into something a lot of our listeners have asked about. Relationships, well, more specifically, Brad Browning's Mend the Marriage, the one for men. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Some of you are probably at a crossroads in your marriage right now and maybe looking for, well, some guidance, some help to strengthen things.
Right.
But before we get into it, I just want to say, we're not relationship experts or therapists or anything.
Yeah, definitely not qualified to give advice on that.
So this isn't about us telling you what to do. It's more like we're going to take a look at what Browning's program is all about, kind of like,
Yeah, like taking a look under the hood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what's he promising? Does it make sense? Does it all add up? Kind of a critical look at the sales pitch, if you will.
Makes sense. It's important to be an informed consumer, especially with something as important as, your marriage.
Totally. So one of the first things that jumped out at me when I was looking at this program was the language he uses. It's pretty strong. Marriage murdering mistakes. Is it too late? Whoa.
Yeah, it's attention grabbing for sure.
Yeah.
Using that kind of language, that sense of urgency, it's a pretty common marketing tactic.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes you think, oh man, this is serious. I got to do something now. It plays on that fear of loss.
Right. Like, I'm messing things up, got to fix it before it's too late. It taps into that, we all want those simple solutions to these really complicated problems.
For sure. And relationships, let's be honest, they're about as complicated as it gets.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea that there's this secret, that's what the video says, to make a marriage work, that's really appealing.
It is. It makes you think, well, maybe it's not all my fault. Maybe there's something I'm missing,
Yeah.
A magic bullet.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so we've got the dramatic language, the promise of a secret, but what about the actual content? What do you actually get with this program?
It's actually quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like a lot. There's an ebook, audio courses, whole video series, worksheets even.
And then he throws in some bonus books too, on things like infidelity and finances, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're throwing the old kitchen sink at you, And that can be appealing, makes you feel like you're getting a lot for your money.
Yeah, that's another classic marketing thing, right? That perception of value. The question is all of that content valuable to you? Like, is it actually what you need to, work on your marriage?
Right, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay, we've got the intense language, the secret solution, the mountain of content. What else jumps out?
Well, you can't miss the testimonials, right? All those happy couples talking about how the program saved their marriage, how they're more in love than ever. It's all designed to build trust, to show you that this thing actually works.
Yeah, those testimonials are powerful. I mean, you see those stories and you think, well, if it worked for them, maybe it can work for me too, right?
Yeah, for sure. But you got to remember, those testimonials are carefully selected. It's not like they're showing you the people who tried the program and, it didn't work out for them.
I mean, they're not going to show you the failures, are they?
Exactly. It's marketing, They're highlighting the success stories. So it's not that they're necessarily fake, but they might not be the whole picture.
Gotcha. But it's also good to see that Mend the Marriage offers a money-back guarantee, right? And they say they keep your information private, and there's phone and email support if you need help.
Yeah, that's definitely a good sign. Shows they stand behind their product, and they're committed to, customer satisfaction.
So, we've talked about the language, the secret, the content overload, the social proof. It's pretty clear Browning's put a lot of thought into how he's presenting this program.
Yeah, definitely. He's got the marketing down, Pat.
Okay, so let's move beyond the marketing hype and all that.
Yeah.
What does Mend the Marriage actually teach? Like, what's the meat and potatoes of it?
All right, let's dive into that. Well, it really focuses on these things he calls marriage murdering mistakes, which...
Okay, marriage murdering mistakes.
Yeah, a bit dramatic, but...
Yeah, but what are they, though? Like, what are these mistakes? Are they legit, or is it just, hype?
I mean, I don't want to give the whole program away, but it's things like, communication breakdowns, taking your partner for granted.
Oh, yeah?
Letting resentment build up, stuff like that. Pretty relatable stuff, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who hasn't been there at some point? Yeah. But, okay, so it identifies the problems, but does it actually offer solutions? Or is it just, here's all the ways you're messing up?
No, it definitely goes beyond that. It gives you actual strategies, techniques, helps you understand, your own behavior, how to communicate better.
Okay, so it's not just about blaming yourself for screwing up. It's about, okay, now what?
Exactly, yeah. It's about taking responsibility, but in a way that's actually helpful. Like one of the big things he emphasizes is understanding your partner's emotional needs.
That makes sense. Everyone's got their own needs, right? What
Yeah.
makes them feel loved. And
Exactly. And a lot of times couples have problems because they're not speaking the same language, emotionally speaking.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
So Browning's program encourages men to really tune in to their partners, listen to what they're actually saying, try to understand their feelings.
So being more mindful, more empathetic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could benefit from that, not just in marriage, but in life in general,
Totally. And it's not just about fixing problems, it's about building a stronger connection.
Right, yeah. You mentioned earlier that there are those bonus books on infidelity and finances.
Yeah.
Those are pretty heavy topics. How does the program handle that kind of stuff?
Well, it acknowledges that those things are tough, really tough on a relationship. And it tries to give you some guidance, some resources to help you deal with them. Like the infidelity book, it helps you understand why it happens, the impact it has, how to start rebuilding trust.
So it's not just like, oh, you cheated, you're a terrible person. It's more nuanced than that.
Yeah, for sure. It's about understanding and healing.
And these bonus books, they're in addition to the main program.
Right. They're not meant to be quick fixes or anything. They're more like tools to help you work through specific situations.
Okay, so it sounds like they're really trying to give you this whole toolkit to handle pretty much anything that comes up in a marriage. But, I mean, does it actually work? Are there real-world examples of this program making a difference?
Well, that's where those testimonials come in, you
Yeah.
were talking about before. You got to take them with a grain of salt.
Right.
But they do show you that it's helped some people, There are stories of guys who are able to reconnect with their wives, rebuild trust, bring back that spark.
It's nice to hear that it's possible to turn things around,
It is.
Of course, it takes work from both people, right? No program can magically fix everything.
Oh, absolutely not. Men in the Marriage gives you the tools, but you got to use them,
Yeah.
You and your partner both got to be willing to put in the effort, communicate, make the relationship a priority.
Okay, so we've talked about the marriage murdering mistakes, the emotional needs thing, the extra resources for tough situations. Sounds like there's a lot of substance here.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
But what makes it different from all the other relationship programs out there? What's unique about Men the Marriage?
Well, I think one of the things that makes it stand out is that it's specifically for men.
Right.
It recognizes that, men and women, they often approach relationships differently, communication's different.
Yeah, that's true. Men and women, we're wired differently, and that can definitely cause problems, misunderstandings, conflicts.
Exactly. And Browning takes that into account. He gives you a way to understand how your words and actions, how they might come across to your partner, and then gives you practical advice on how to, communicate better.
So it's not like, be more like a woman. It's more like, here's how to be a better man in your relationship.
Yeah, exactly. It's about empowering you,
I like that. Another thing I noticed, it's very action-oriented. It's not just about talking about your problems.
Yeah.
It's about actually doing something to fix them.
Totally. He gives you a lot of concrete advice, like specific communication techniques, planning romantic things, or even just making more of an effort to, connect with your partner every day.
It's like, here's the problem. Here's what you do about it.
Yep. And I think that's why a lot of guys like it. It gives them a sense of control, like they can actually make a difference.
Instead of feeling helpless or blaming each other.
Right. It's about taking ownership, working together.
All right, so we've talked about the mistakes, the emotional needs, the bonus material, and it sounds like there's a lot to this program, a lot to think about.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the end, it's up to you to decide if it's right for you.
That's right. But hopefully, this deep dive has given you some things to consider.
Yeah, if you're at that point where you're looking for ways to, strengthen your marriage, communicate better, reconnect with your wife.
Men the Marriage might be worth checking out.
And remember, every relationship is different. There's no magic bullet.
Nope, definitely not.
But this program gives you a structured approach, and it's helped a lot of couples, so.
That's true.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it helpful.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
And remember, the most important thing in any relationship is that willingness to work together, communicate, and, cherish each other.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.